good to be back. I think all of us are excited to get back in the court and see what the season has in store. You know, it's going to be a little different, and it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like out in the court with nobody in the gym but a few staff people and the teams. But nonetheless, we're excited to get going. I don't feel like we're as prepared as I'd like to be, just not having the opportunity to practice. But I'm excited to play. I'm excited for the opportunity the guys have to get on the court again and see what we can do. So all in all, it's a tough situation, but we're excited to play.
Mike, it's good to see you again, even virtually at this point. But you mentioned you're not quite as ready as you want to be yet. I mean, I'm sure you guys are, just dying to play at this point. But how do you make sure that you are, prepared by the time tip-off comes around?
Well, this year is going to be unique, and I don't know that we're going to have many choices on how prepared we will be all the time. Normally this time of the year we have a couple scrimmages or an exhibition, a couple non-conference games before we start conference play. But this year we don't have any of that, and we probably only had a couple weeks of practices to get ready. So it's going to be unique now, but even looking forward, if we hopefully we don't, but if we get a positive case when we return back from a trip on a Monday or Tuesday, we're going to quarantine for 7 to 10 days. And you might not even get one practice in before you play possibly, or one practice. So it's a tough question just to answer. But we'll be ready as we can be. And the guys, we know how to play basketball. It's just, I think coaches want us to be as organized as we possibly can be all the time and know everything about our opponents and that sort of thing. But we'll be fine.
And you guys, lost a couple players like Logan and Ja, and then some transfers like Jakob and Max. But you returned, a number of cornerstone pieces for you guys still. Who are just one or two guys that you're really looking at this year to you want them to step up or kind of be that leader for you guys, whether it's on the court, in the locker room, or kind of overall just throughout the program?
Well, first of all, I'd like the team to be led by a lot of people. I'd like everybody to be accountable to the team and have a lot of leaders on it. But I think the main guys that you look for and would expect to lead us are Derek Thompson, first of all. He's been around for a long time. He started a lot of games for us. As a second team all-conference player last year. So I think it starts with him. Nick Wagner, returning again, honorable mention all-conference player, but very talented, a lot of game experience as well. So you start with those two guys. Griffin Chase has been around for a while, and he and Nick maybe aren't the most talkative players all the time, but I still see a lot of growth in them, and we'll need to see continued leadership skills from them. And then Cody Lander has been around a little bit too, and he was out last year with a broken wrist, but he's another guy that's been in the system and played a lot of games for us. So we're excited to see what our team can do, but certainly how well we play. We'll have a lot of things have to happen from those four guys I just mentioned.
And you're going back to Mankato this weekend, and you probably know them just about as good as anybody in the South at this point, having seen them past couple of postseasons. I guess, how does a little bit of added familiarity help as you kind of ease into this new season as you go back down there this week?
It certainly helps, and Mankato, we know everybody pretty well. We all keep tabs on each other a little bit, and we're all pretty good friends, in the off season too. But I expect Mankato to be one of the most talented teams in the league, as they always are. They're well coached. They got a lot of talented players that know how to play the game well. In the past, recently, we've had some matchup issues with them. We didn't match up very well with them, and they got us pretty good in the regular season game last year. But in the playoff game, I felt like it could have went either way. So hopefully we can build off of that from last year, knowing a little bit of how they tried to exploit us, and maybe we can do some things that could put them in some difficult situations too. So I expect a great game. But this year could be unique because some teams could have two starters out for this reason or another. or because of COVID, and the other team might be full go and have everybody there. And then you go to the next week and the team that played really well might have a couple of starters out because of COVID, and the other team might be full go. So it could be a really interesting year when you look at just the box scores or the stats of a game, not knowing the entire story of what's taken place. Has that team practiced throughout the week, or did they have to sit out? It's going to come down to, I think a lot of times, is how much practice time can you get with your group? Can you stay healthy? Can you stay somewhat COVID free? And that could tell a lot of the story for the conference race.
Mike, it's good to see you again. I think the last time I saw you was at the Bemidji Town and Country Club when it was 75 and sunny. I don't think we'll be getting that anytime soon. No. But we haven't been able to talk to you before this at all or anything like that. And I'm just curious about how the preseason went. I know you touched a little bit about how many obstacles and stuff like that you have to go through, and definitely a longer and a very different preseason. How has that been leading up until now?
It was challenging. I think it was challenging physically and mentally for our guys and coaches. There was, a 2 to 3 month stretch where we had no contact. We're masked up, not able to compete against each other, not able to practice against each other. It was just basically, dribbling and passing and shooting, and that was it. We weren't able to do anything as a team. It was more just individual skill work. And, in basketball, the guys want to play pickup ball every day in the off season, let alone just get to practice against each other. They want to play, and that was taken from them. So those are the challenges that we had to face. You could say that we maybe are better dribblers and better shooters maybe now, but we want to play. I think everybody wants to play, and we're thankful for the opportunity we have with the 16-game conference slate.
Just kind of touching about how mentally tough that is for these players too, to be going. I mean, as an athlete, you're trained to have practice, and then game, and then practice. So mentally, I got to imagine, and coaches too, I'm sure, it's got to be a little tough. So then how relieving is it now to finally be able to have a game? It is.
It's exciting. I think when you've had the game taken away from you for as long as we have, it's exciting just to get that opportunity to go compete again. Our spring didn't look anything near what it used to look like. Our summer, it was tough to get into gyms. The NCAA did, pass some rules that we're able to get in the gym with our players a little bit this summer, which really helped. This fall was just continuation from the summer with really no change. And, as a competitor, you want to compete, even if it's just one-on-one versus your buddy. And we didn't have that. And but again, we're thankful for where we're at, and we're hoping for the best.
Last thing I have for you, Coach. It's just kind of like the game leading up here, or I just lost my train of thought. Mike, what I was going to ask is, you know what, Kelly, you just take it. I forgot what I was going to say.
Early season, Chaz. Everybody's got some rust.
I gotta get the rust off. The media guys got the rust off too.
Say, Mike, with everything being unknown with the COVID season, I hate to call it a COVID season, but I'm gonna. Knowing that anything is possible with who could be out and who could be in and healthy, do you expect to see more of your younger players, maybe your transfers and your rookies, playing a little bit more this year than normal?
That's a good question. It's definitely a possibility. We've talked about it, and you have to you must keep everybody ready to go. And it would be remiss if I did not prepare some players to play positions that they don't normally play. And I think some of the things that we went through this fall and the issues that we had already, we've had a few guys with COVID, so we had to play some players in positions that they don't normally play already. I can't say that they're going to go in there and play great, doing something that they don't normally do. But I think those things have to be taken into consideration, and I have to figure out ways looking forward that I possibly might have to do to make some changes to help the team, maybe reach its potential on some of those nights that we don't have our key guys. So that'll be a challenge. It'll be a challenge, and it'll be a challenge on the players as well.
Derek, first thing I got for you is, I'm sure you guys have been itching to play for quite some time now, but as far as game readiness goes, how prepared do you guys feel at this point?
I think we're ready to go. We're looking forward to the weekend against Mankato. Traveling down there 2 games in a row. Team's looking pretty good, feeling pretty good. We're overall just ready to get after it.
Yeah, and you probably know Mankato as good as just about anybody in the South at this point, having played them for a couple postseasons in a row. So I guess going back there this year, how does some added familiarity help as you kind of ease into this new season a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely a familiar territory down there. Like you said, we've been down there the last 2-3 years. They're losing a couple of their best players, so that will be nice. But they definitely have some really good returners coming back that we know we got to take care of them.
Yeah, and you're a 1,000-point scorer already. You're a senior. You've packed a lot into your first 3 seasons at BSU. So I guess what's important for you to do this year, as a senior, as a leader, and probably one of the faces of this team?
Yeah, you said it. I just need to be a leader. 1,000 points doesn't really mean anything. I just want to win playoff games, and win a championship is all I care about.
Derek, Chaz Moots here from Lakeland News. It's been probably quite a ride this preseason for you guys. It's a preseason unlike any other. What's been the most difficult thing for you guys? With the COVID situation, probably a lot of playing and not playing, playing, not playing. How's it been for you guys, and what's been the toughest thing?
The toughest thing for me, we were locked out of our gym for how long? So it was great to finally get back in when we were able to. And then all the restrictions, the guidelines that we had to follow. And now we're finally, for the last few weeks, we've been going live for, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it's been. But yeah, it's been a while since we've really been able to play true basketball. And I guess getting back into it feels really good.
I know there's always that itch too, for that first game. You guys always want, but this year more than ever, I gotta imagine, because it's like, when do you ever have to practice this long before a season? Usually, and all the athletes. You love the games. Practice are all right, but the games are the fun part. Just talk about how excited you guys are too. Probably to get this going after waiting for so long.
I know it feels like it's been forever since we've played a game of basketball. And of course, we don't have any Division III games or any of those exhibition games to get us kind of warmed up this year. We're jumping right into it, playing a conference game against Mankato. So, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Last thing for me here, Derek, what's been the most kind of nice surprise you guys have seen so far? What have you guys done so well? Like, pick out one thing that you've really liked about your team so far in preseason.
I just like the energy we bring every day to practice. It seems like there's a lot more enthusiasm and effort on the defensive end. We got guys clapping and yelling all the time in the gym, and it's just a really competitive environment. It's a lot of fun.
Derek, Kelly Schultz with the Beaver Radio Network. You get to take a road trip to start the season. Obviously, you'll get a chance to do some team bonding, but how much time have you spent off the court with your teammates because of COVID? Have you?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, I guess. Well, now that ice fishing's gotten going, I've been out a couple times with some of the guys. But other than that, yeah, it's tough to really get out and do much. I guess hanging out a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's been tough with COVID.
You guys, preseason pick at number 3. How much does that put any pressure on you at all?
I don't think it puts really any pressure on us. I think we know where we should be. We want to be number 1, of course. So that just gives us 2 more spots to climb throughout the season.
I asked Derek this as well, but normally you guys have, your preseason and you kind of scrimmages and you're used to practice and then game, practice, game, practice, game. This year, you guys have been waiting for forever. Just talk about the anticipation, excitement for you guys, you and then as a team total for this weekend to finally be able to play a game.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever since we played a game. I know we've put a lot of work in this off season and preseason, so the guys are excited to get it out there and compete, and I know I am as well. So it's just this anticipation's building tremendously. So we're just ready to get after it.